Some elevators have rejected loads of soybeans, others taking them at a discount. We talked with Extension educator Jenny Reese about some of these quality issues. Jenny, I think we're getting towards the tail end of beans. Guys certainly are taking some into the elevator, and sometimes they're running into some things, some discoloration, some questions I'm sure that they've got.
Right. So, Steve, as we look at soybeans and as farmers have been calling about what's going on, what are all these different colors, they may have samples that look a lot like what I have in this bag, different like purple colored beans and some discolored beans, some moldy beans. And so one of them has been kind of purple colored beans, and this is due to, it's called purple seed stain. It's due to a fungus called Cercospora, and it basically infected those plants and created that discolored beans. The other thing that we've been seeing in portions of fields are kind of darkish colored to moldy beans. That's called Phomopsis seed decay, or it could have been also caused by some stink bug damage. But those three things in general, on the disease side of things, when we had our cool, wet August with high humidity, that's when all this stuff really got started in our soybean fields.
Because once they get that to the elevator's got some questions, they might get docked a little there.
Yeah, so the impact is when they take these beans to the elevators, we were seeing some dockage. Thankfully, the elevators in my portion of the state, as I would walk into them, they were having 5-gallon buckets set up for the growers. As they would come in, they would take samples of their loads, so that, let's say they were going through the field and they hit one area that had a pocket of one of these fungal issues. It wasn't being docked as heavily for just one load. It was taking a sample of all the loads together, so that was a blessing. But we are hearing portions of the state where some of these beans are being rejected right now. And so last week we were getting questions about what do we do with these beans.
Well, maybe this is a question people would have, but can you feed that to livestock? Can you feed that to cattle then?
Yeah, that's a great question, Steve. And so that is a question they were asking too. And the answer is yes. None of these fungi produce mycotoxins, so meaning that there's no danger, at least that we're aware of, to either humans or livestock.
Neighbors take care of unfinished business, helping a farm family harvest their dad's final crop with a harvest bee in Wood River. Here's more. His buddy KC keeps an eye on rabbits, a faithful companion during the long days of harvest. But as Brad Ernest looks out from his John Deere 9670, there's something missing, or rather, someone.
Yeah, every time I look over there and I don't see him, it hurts a little bit, but he's in a good place now and he's not hurting no more, and I'm proud and happy for him.
Cancer took its toll on Mel Ernest. Family members say he just wanted to come home from an Omaha hospital where his family spent time at his side.
I wanted to make sure my mom was taken care of, and she's not, getting around Omaha isn't the greatest thing for her, so I was there for her and Dad. And
he spent his final hours in Wood River surrounded by family. In the midst of harvest, friends and family told them not to worry about it. When the time came, they'd be there. And they are, as dozens bring combines, tractors, and trucks to fields scattered around Wood River.
They've been through enough already. Let's just get the corn picked and go on.
Mark Glow chokes back tears.
If it was turned around, Mel would be here also. Mel would be.
Brad Ernest says these extended family members orchestrated the whole thing, a weight off their shoulders.
It's nice. It's very, very nice. Living in a community like this, it's small town USA, I guess that's what it's about.
Brad says it's been a tough year for him and his brother Brian, their sister Brenda, and their mom. But they're learning how big a small town can be.
Well, we're very blessed and appreciative.
A cattle buyer from a major meat packer talks about the demand for premium beef. Here's more now from the American Angus Association.
Consumers want to know that that animal's been cared for throughout its life. Certain things that we do that we didn't used to do in the packing industry, way better control over inflow of cattle. Truck drivers have a schedule they have to follow so that we don't have 5 or 6 or 10 trucks waiting outside the packing house. Just a lot better husbandry to treat these animals with the dignity and respect that they deserve.
But those concerns are only in addition to premium quality.
We're going to continue to look for the highest quality cattle we can find out there. The consumer doesn't want even select anymore. They for sure don't want less than select. The consumer demands a high quality piece of meat. They paid more for meat when the herd was decimated and cattle prices got high. They paid more for beef, but they bought beef, and they learned that there's a value there.
Tyson talks to producers through grid pricing, as well as cattle care requirements, such as beef quality assurance certification beginning January 1st, all while building relationships up and down the supply chain.
You know, the consumer keeps asking us for certain attributes, and the only way we can deliver those attributes is through our suppliers. And together, through collaboration, communication, talking about what the consumer demands, I think we do a pretty good job of increasing beef demand, which makes us all winners.
We've got our harvest forecast coming up next, and later we meet our farm family of the month.